What's up, everybody? Recusing here after a long hiatus. Feels good to be back, though, and without further ado, let's begin. As I've been streaming the Kingdom Hearts series again, on level 1 and other challenges, I realized something important: the necessity of resource management. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when I say resource management, I'm referring to needing to keep track of multiple different abilities, meters, gauges, and other things, while balancing out the repercussions you may have if you don't sufficiently manage them. Something that Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 do very well, as opposed to the Osaka games where, well, it's almost non-existent. Let's break it down, shall we? In Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, we start off with just normal attacks and a couple of spells, the bread and butter of action games being just default attacks, no special techniques or crazy overpowered abilities right off the bat. They're never de-incentivized by offering a clearly stronger option with no drawback. We get summons, drive forms, more magic both defensive and offensive. Hell, even items fall into resource management. Everything else other than normal attacks require you to use resources, and they are a finite amount in each current combat situation. This really shines in boss fights or scripted story fights. They're usually longer and more engaged. You can't just run away if you don't possess the necessary means to complete the fight. You'll probably just die. Look at summons in KH1. They're extremely strong, but they're countered by the fact you only get to use each corresponding summon once per battle. Not only that, but they also cost 2 MP and you must have both party members alive. That's the wonderful thing that Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 do so well, a system of checks and balances with their stronger options. Look at drive forms. You have a drive gauge that isn't infinite, and you must keep either one party member or both alive. Well, except for limit form, but that costs most of your gauge. Especially early on, we have to manage the one, seldom two drive forms we get per battle. The great thing is, we're never handicapped by feeling lost once our drive form runs out. We still have normal attacks being a reliable and enjoyable form of combat, especially in KH1 where normal attacks are so heavily incentivized that we get MP back whenever we just attack. Sure, they pale in comparison to drive forms and limits, but they're still strong, and without them, you're not getting anywhere, for the most part. It's honestly wonderful. We are offered stronger options than just normal attacks, but they never take away from the importance of them. So, what about the games when Osaka takes over? There's nothing to manage here other than your health. Literally nothing. The command deck style provides your one and only resource different from HP: time. Yes, MP charge in KH2 is also time related, but it's not the only reliable source of strength. No mana? No problem. Normal attacking is enjoyable, rewarding, and is my go-to option in combat, honestly. Now in BBS and DDD, normal attacks suck. They're slow, clunky, rarely safe, and overall just don't feel fun. I almost always find myself defaulting to use the strong commands and magic, with little to no drawback other than waiting and running away. Even guarding sucks in these games. It's just running around until the command comes back off cooldown. There's no drawback to just running around. Commands don't go away after enough uses or any mana to run out of. I don't think I even used a single item through my entire playthrough of BBS because I just use cure commands and wait and dodge. The worst part though is normal attacks are just catalysts to the command styles. I don't like normal attacks. They never are reliable or needed other than to fill up a gauge to help me use this stronger ability or form. Once again, the only thing to manage with that form is time. It'll run out and then I just fill that gauge right back up and get the form back. Because we have no resources to manage and normal attacks aren't reliable, we are giving unrestricted access to the strongest options, our only restriction being, you guessed it, time. So, after the experimental handheld games that Osaka made, how does 0.2 compare? For being their first home console entry, they brought back the tried and true Kingdom Hearts combat system. No command decks, but they kept command styles in a way. They made normal attacks better and more enjoyable, but this offering of a stronger form or magic with no drawback just really bums me out. It's in a way this form of artificial lengthening, where we don't focus on the fight at hand, but rather focusing on getting that next strong option. It detracts from the combat because we mostly focus on getting the command style or spamming magic to get that 𝒮𝓊 spell. There's nothing wrong with using stronger options, but when there's no drawback to using them, it makes other aspects of the combat become obsolete. So, how would we balance out the Osaka style of resource management with command styles and strong magic? Well, cooldowns, or perhaps a gauge, maybe even an icon to represent transformations, such as only getting one per battle to incentivize using every option available to you. Time is a valuable resource, but if it's the only one you have to manage, it removes the strategy of approaching combat in different ways. In KH3, from what I can see, it's the same as 0.2 with transformations and limits. We have links, which do have drawback. That's nice, but the frequent stronger options still have no drawback. There's no consequence for getting transformations and finish commands over and over. We're offered variety in how we want to approach combat, but nothing stops us from spamming the strongest option, other than time. If we could do something like summons in KH1 where we only get these transformations and forms once per battle, I think it would make normal attacks more reliable and offer more innovation. If these transformations aren't freakishly overtuned, and maybe they introduce a management system, I think combat might be the most enjoyable experience in the series so far. Whether they do that or not, only time will tell. I think 0.2's combat wasn't game-breaking by any means, but I want more consequence to my gameplay. I tried really hard to include everything I could that's integral to the concept of resource management in this series, but if I missed anything, I'm sorry. As always, I'm 𝒮𝓈𝒔𝒻, and if you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I absolutely love talking to you guys, and I've had some wonderful discussions with you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.